Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and another video. Before we get into that, I have a couple things to say. First of all, have we seen the shirt? Like, did I wear this in the video already? I think I did and just didn't mention it. I have pants that match it. It's amazing. It is the ugliest thing you've ever seen, and yes, I'm obsessed. Besides that, I did mention in a previous video, but I just wanted to mention again, just in case you guys didn't see that video. My Etsy shop is now live, and right now I only have one item. It is a trio of nail polish stickers. They're called like weirdo nail poses. One glows in the dark, one is holographic, and one is matte. And they are just, I feel like they're very reflective of my personality and just some of the jokes that I've made on this channel. And so definitely go check those out. They are linked down below, and I will have the artist, who is my little brother, linked down below as well to his Instagram. And the last quick update is I do have a PO box now, so that is linked, not linked, it's just written down below in the description box if you're interested in, I don't know, sending me a letter or something. I love letters, so there's that. So into the topic of today's video. Did we not just film a video like this like a week ago? How can one man have this many bad habits? I know that's what you're thinking. The first one was more about like bad nail care habits, and this one is kind of more like my bad habits when it comes to collecting polish. And I'm gonna be honest. So when I put I make a calendar ahead of time, and I'm like, this is what I'm gonna post on this day, and this is what I'm gonna post on this day. And when I saw the post, I was like, oh, bad nail habits. And I make this calendar kind of far in advance. Like, I have videos planned out pretty far in advance, and then I move them around if I need to. But when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's a great idea. I don't remember coming up with that idea. So then I didn't remember what I wanted to do for that video. So I had to come up with a different script, and that was the video you saw before. And then I was flipping through my planner the other day, and I found a hastily scribbled sticky note of the actual ideas that I had for this video, and it was completely different. So I don't know, I wrote it down in like a fugue state or something. So here's the original, this is what the video was supposed to be, but now it's part 2. Life happens. I was in such a brain fog in April, I don't even remember planning my videos. So let's talk about my 5 really bad nail habits or nail polish habits when it comes to the collecting aspect of this hobby. Number 1, and I've talked about this before, but it's trying to meet the free shipping threshold. And this is not just an issue for me with nail polish, but just in all aspects of online shopping. And I'm trying really hard to break this habit. I constantly feel personally attacked by having to pay shipping fees. And I do understand that when it's free shipping, it is in fact rolled into the cost of the product. Like, I used to be in sales, I used to make prices for material. I understand that the shipping cost is rolled in because I used to do that myself. I used to do that for my products. So I understand that, but psychologically, like in this little brain of mine, it's free anyway. It's just free, okay? It's free. My brain's like, it's free, so it's free. So at those times where it's like I end up, I want one thing for sure. I'm like, I've been dying to have this one item, but it doesn't meet the free shipping threshold. I'm like, well, I better save money by adding $40 more worth of stuff into my cart that I didn't initially even know existed, and then that's a steal. But in reality, I'm not saving money. I'm overspending. I'm spending money that is going beyond what I would have paid for the shipping, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And then I'm just stuck with all this stuff that I never really needed in the first place. And not only is that wasting money and space in my home, it's also wasting time. Because if I went on a website to initially only buy, say, one polish from Holo Taco, and then I'm like, oh, but I need to meet the free shipping threshold. I'm spending my time, I'm wasting my time searching on that whole website to find a few more items to fill up my cart. It's a waste of time that frankly, I probably could waste it, but I want to do other things that are like more significant than browsing nail polish on the internet 24/7, you know? I shouldn't have to talk myself into wanting something just so that I don't have to pay shipping. So now I've decided to roll the price of shipping and handling into the cost of the polish mentally. And I'm like, okay, the $4 shipping and the $12 polish, it's now just a $16 polish. So is it worth it? Is it worth it, Hillary, to spend $16 on that one polish? And from there, I have to decide. And recently, it was. For Polished Up Gamers, I did buy a $12 polish that had $4 shipping, and it brought it up to $16. And I looked at that polish and I was like, you know what? Yes, I do want to pay $16 for that. And that was that. And I ordered it. There are other polishes that I would not pay $16 for. In fact, most polishes probably wouldn't. But I really wanted that one, and I felt that it was worth the cost of polish plus shipping, and I bought it. And I don't feel bad about it. So I'm slowly breaking that bad habit. Bad habit number 2 is buying every release, like literally every single drop from one brand. And this is basically, I did this with 2 brands. Holo Taco for like 2 to 3 years, and then Cleona for like 2.5 months before I came to my sanity and was like, Hillary, you have to stop this. I own literally every single release from Holo Taco from the dawn of the brand to the end of 2022. And then in the beginning of 2023, I made a very concentrated effort to not buy from the brand just to buy from the brand, because that's what I was doing. I was buying every collection because I was like, well, if I miss out on one, then I'll have broken my streak, I'll have broken my collection, and I have everything and I can't miss out, right? I thought this was gonna be really, really hard, but the first collection of the year honestly made it really, really easy for me. And then when I didn't buy from that collection, from there, it's been very simple. And the reason why the first collection made it really easy for me, I think it was almost like a cheat code. It didn't come with the collection box, which those sell out and then they don't come back. And it wasn't limited edition. And so I was like, okay, sit on it, think on it. You're not missing out on literally anything because you can get these later. There's no collection box. And then when the subsequent release came with a collection box, I wasn't interested. I had already broken the spell. I made my first purchase of the year from Holo Taco in April, so I waited 4 months, and I only bought, I believe, 2 polishes. I bought one from that very first release of the year because I had enough time to think on it, and I bought one limited edition polish, and I was very happy with myself because there was a limited edition trio, and usually I would buy all of them because I'm like, well, they're limited edition, you can never get them again. But I was like, I don't want the other 2. I only want the one. And so I walked away and I bought only 2 polishes and I paid shipping on them. Like I said, I started doing this with Cleona Cosmetics as well, but I kind of caught myself a little bit faster with that one because I realized I was kind of transferring my Holo Taco feelings over to Cleona, and I was like gonna just buy everything and review everything. Something about them is they're located in Canada and I am not. I am located in the United States, and so I have to pay international shipping, and that woke me up really fast. So I only buy the ones that I want from them, and I kind of wait until they get a handful that I want, and then I make an order so that it makes the international shipping worth it for me. Number 3 is only buying full collections and not just the singular polishes that I want. Kind of similar to number 2, but a little bit different. This is a bad habit I picked up specifically from doing YouTube. When I first started doing YouTube, before I ever picked up a camera, I only bought the pieces that I wanted from a collection. I would never buy a whole collection to buy a whole collection. That wasn't my vibe. I only wanted to spend money on the individual polishes that I wanted. But then when I started doing YouTube, I was like, you can't just review 2 polishes from a 6-piece collection. Like, who's gonna watch that? And so I started buying full collections specifically to review on YouTube. Now, I will say I do feel like that was a little bit unavoidable in order to kickstart my channel. I guess I didn't have to do reviews, but I wanted to. And when you do reviews as like a makeup reviewer or a tech reviewer or whatever, when you're first starting out, like, you have to buy those products yourself. And if you're lucky, you know, you do kind of hit it off and you do a good job, and you might get sponsored or you might get PR and things like that. But until that point, most of that stuff you're buying yourself, and it's kind of like an investment into the channel in a way. As long as you're getting a return on it, you know, it's not the end of the world. but it does take a while to see something like that. And so at the beginning, I started buying full collections, and then I just never stopped because I was like, well, I want like 50 to 70% of these in the collection, so I might as well buy all of them because at least I can make a video out of it as well. This year, due to the budget constraints that I've put on myself, it makes it a lot harder to do that. I could do that, but then my budget would be going to a lot of stuff that I don't necessarily feel super passionate about or like love the whole collection. So I've decided to only buy full collections if I'm interested in the full collection, or if it's like a really cheap collection that I am interested in some of it, because then, you know, it won't kill my budget. But if it's like a Holo Taco collection or a Starly collection, and I'm like, oh, I only want a couple of those are pricier brands, and I don't want to spend 1/3 of my budget on a single brand video when one video on this channel I can't get the revenue back. Like, I'm not a big enough channel to where I could easily break even or make a profit on something like that. So if I don't love that collection, then there's no point in me doing that. Now, if I love the collection and I can make a video, it doesn't matter. You know, it's just a bonus for me. I like doing that. But I don't want to clutter up my life with these full collections that I'm not absolutely in love with, because I don't destash. I struggle with it. I'm getting there. I did a destash on my top and my base coats, but like actual polish, I don't know why I cross my entire face to brush my hair out of my face. I could just do it with this hand. I don't declutter nail polish yet. I'm not emotionally ready for that, so we'll see. I could do what some reviewers do, where they buy the full collection, review it, and then destash it on like a discount, but that seems like a lot of work, and I am very scared of the post office, and I don't want to go there more than I have to. So number 4 is buying a polish solely because it is popular with other people. And it's just like, sometimes you see a cult polish, like a cult favorite polish or a cult favorite brand, and it is super hyped up, and maybe you don't get the hype, but everybody else is hyping it up, and you're like, well, I kind of want to be a part of something because it seems like a fun little club to be in. So you start buying those polishes, or you seek out that specific like cult favorite, you know? I can think of a couple polishes this has happened to me with. One of them was BKL's Dumacorn. It came back in last year's Polish Pickup Rewind, and I had always seen people talking about it on the Facebook group, and so I felt like I needed it. Even though looking at it on the screen, I was kind of like, I don't get it. I don't really understand. Like, it didn't look that interesting. Like, it looked cool enough, but it didn't look like this thing that garnered people going crazy over. But I bought it anyways because it was the one to have. And I was like, well, I want to be a part of something, so I'm buying it. Luckily, I ended up actually loving it. And when I saw it in person, I was like, oh, you can't even photograph the majesty of this. That's why I didn't get it. Maybe I Stockholm syndrome myself into liking it. I don't know. I like it though. And so it worked out in my favor. There have been others that I've bought because they were popular where I was like, I don't really understand. Like, Bikini So Teeny by Essie. It's a beautiful blue, but I don't get why people go nuts over it. But I bought it anyways. And I still am like, yeah, it's a beautiful blue, but I don't understand why people go nuts over it, you know? And there's been a couple times where I've come this close to putting a bid out on A Lion with a Thorn in Its Paw by BKL again, because everyone freaks out over it. But it's like, I look at the pictures and I don't know, maybe this is sacrilege to say, and somebody's gonna come for me and 9 people are gonna downvote this video, but I just don't get it. Like, I don't have any siblings to the, like, lion siblings, so I don't really get like what's so special about the finish, to be quite honest. And I think it's pretty. It's a pretty blue polish. I love blue polishes, don't get me wrong, but I don't love paying $100 to $200 for less than an ounce of blue polish, you know? Like, that's not my journey in life. Now, if I got the polish, I would not be mad. I'd be very excited to have it because it's like a collector's piece at this point, but I would not go so far out of my way to be paying that kind of price for it. All right, number 5 is, I'm calling myself out here. This is the worst of my bad habits, and this is the one that I'm not really gonna change. I'm sorry. I just know this about myself. But number 5 is buying polish faster than I can feasibly use it. I'm just so far gone on this one. There's no coming back. Like unless I just stopped buying polish forever for the rest of my life right now, today, and then I gave away 95% of my collection as well, which is not happening. That's not happening. No, no, no. Like, unless I did those things, I could never go through what I have. The amount of polish that I buy in a month, the amount of polish that I buy in a year, it is too much. I understand that. It is overconsumption. I cannot use them all to their full potential. I cannot wear them all in a single calendar year. Even if I changed the color on my hands and my toes every day for an entire calendar year, I still couldn't wear them all in a single year. Like, I would have to be wearing Skittle Manis on my fingers and my toes in order to get through them all. And I know that. I think that would bother some people. I know some people in the hobby, they only want what they use. And I know some people in the hobby are more like me and they love having the big collection because to them, it's more than just wearing it. Like for me, I like to sort them and look at them and categorize them and make videos using a variety of different polishes at my disposal. And it's just the way that I like to do the hobby. It's not right, it's not wrong, it's just one way to do it. I used to think that maybe I should feel guilty for participating in a hobby like this where I'm buying more than I can use, but I feel like a lot of people do have at least one hobby in their life like this. There are people who have massive stores of books in their home, shelf after shelf after shelf, and they've only read 20% of the books on the shelf. Me, I only go to the library to get my books, or I buy them used and then I give them away when I'm finished reading them. Is that the right way to do it? No, it's just another way to do it. It's just the way that I prefer because I have so much nail polish I don't have space for books in my home. And I'm not a big rereader, so it's just, you know. There are people I know who knit or cross-stitch, both of which are also hobbies of mine, that they have massive stores of embroidery floss and yarn and patterns that they're never going to get to in their entire life. Me, personally, I have 1 to 2 projects going at any given time, and I only buy the materials I need for those 1 to 2 projects. I don't buy anything until I'm done with one of them. And that's just the way that I prefer to do it, but it's just one way of doing it. So it's just, this is my one overconsumption hobby, and I've slowed down this year, I think, compared to previous years, but I will never be the type of person who stops buying altogether. Like, unless I, for some reason, like, nail polish kills my father and I hold a grudge for the rest of my life against it, I don't think that I will ever stop buying nail polish. So whoever I end up leaving them to in my will, right now it's my sister. So, you know, if I die right now, she's getting all of this. Whoever ends up with that, I'm sorry, but at least it's all, I have a spreadsheet, so it's already pre-categorized for you. You don't have to worry about figuring out what's what. So yeah, those are my 5 pretty bad habits when it comes to buying nail polish and collecting nail polish. I'm sure that many of you out there can relate. Let me know if you and I have some bad habits in common, or let me know if you have some other bad habits that I didn't touch on here. I'm pretty sure those are, I think I've exhausted my bad habits when it comes to nails. So, you know, I think we've gotten them all out there. I think I've bled myself dry and exposed myself here. So let me know what your guys' bad nail habits are, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.